Like I truly think if Sarkeesian played Arch Manning, Texas wins a natty.
To the zone. Auto zone. Arch Manning has done nothing. At least that's what Brian Kelly thinks. Nussmeier has seen it. This is what he says. He knows what he's going to get. Manning is extremely talented, but he's got to go do it. It'll take the guy that's been in the SEC, seen what it looks like, calling out Arch Manning for being overhyped. And he's probably one of the more overhyped and overhated prospects in a long time. You see, I'm not just a Shador Sanders enjoyer. I'm an enjoyer of people whose stories get misconstrued, miscalculated. They start getting hated on for the wrong reasons to hate. You can hate on somebody. Hey, I'm pro hate, but just hate for the right reasons. And I'm sorry, but me watching Arch Manning get hated on it since high school, when people were saying he was playing against bad talent and the players he was going against were too small, all the way to him, I don't know, bullying some boys in some ugly maroon or whatever y'all Texas A&M boys call that to a nice touchdown to help us dominate our long-standing rivals. But hey, man, I think that he has done some things. Obviously, he's done some things against UTSA's and Mississippi State, a little bit of Texas A&M, some short fielders work. But there is a lot to be said about this. As much as Brian Kelly, is just terrible at speaking, I think he makes a good point here that Arch hasn't done anything, and there is a whole lot of hype around him. Let's talk about it. I mean, Arch Manning has been either top 10, top 5, all these quarterback rankings. He's been, those top threes. And then here's the rankings of top 10. I believe this is just top 10 players in college football. You might have heard about this kid. Well, like many, and this is from On3, we at On3 expect big things out of Manning 3.0. In previous years, labeling a Sarkeesian quarterback as a check down Charlie or offensive executive would be a given, but in this case, it would be downright reprehensible. Like his uncles, he has premier passing abilities. He can layer throws, hit targets all over the yard, and stay in attack mode from the pocket with excellent balance, timing, and anticipation. Like his grandpa, he has noticeable twitch and bursts that do him well outside of structure and as a design rusher. Yes, Manning ought to benefit from his environment, but he's also talented enough to elevate Texas to planes it hasn't been in a generation. I'd love a repeat of 2005. There's nowhere else I want to be. This is Arch Manning. I want to be the quarterback at the University of Texas. Sometimes it's worth the wait. So just so you people wondering if he's going to come out. But here are some of the rankings, right? Top 10 college football quarterbacks. He's number 4 here underneath K. Klubnik. I think DJ Lagway is a little too high, if I got to be honest with you. I mean, he was a true freshman last year and destroyed his shoulder. But and then top 10 quarterbacks returning in general. Here's DJ Lagway at the top. Arch Manning, surprisingly, is not even on this list. So, you have some people who really, really like Arch Manning, some people who really, really don't Arch Manning. Some people think that he is the number 2 overall pick next year. Some think he's the number 5 overall or number 4 overall pick next year. So there's plenty of hype to be seen. And similar to Shador Sanders and a lot of things I talk about it seems that Archie Manning believes that a lot of this hype comes from that last name.
Some things you just can't control. It's not Archie's fault that Peyton Eli won Super Bowl, but so far he doesn't seem to be else. He likes to play. He likes to play.
Wow, you can't hear anything in there, dog. Whoever did this interview, I'm sorry for your terrible audio. But I'm gonna just read it for you. He says some things you can't control. It's not Arch's fault. Peyton and Eli won Super Bowls. That adds to it. But so far, he doesn't seem fazed by that stuff. He likes to play. He likes to work, and I think that's a really good point. For all the people who want to detract against Arch Manning, he is similar to Shador Sanders. He hasn't done anything negative. He does not do things. He's not brash. He's not over the top. He is not buying into the hype that seemingly a lot of people are buying into. With Shador Sanders, Shador always thought he was that guy. Just because more people thought of it, hey, that's cool. With Arch Manning, hey, I'm just a Manning. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I'm supposed to be this nice with it. And speaking on the football aspect, kind of like that little snippet said, I think the most dangerous thing is not just that, hey, he's got wheels, not just, hey, it's a full Sarkeesian offense that's going to be able to be molded around with him. I think it's scary because he can throw that dang football, son. Like, and the aggression is what I love, right? Quinn Ewers was like almost the perfect amount of aggression, but sometimes his arm betrayed him. Sometimes he was a little late on some throws. Sometimes his mechanics were just terrible. With Arch Manning, you're going to get somebody who seemingly does the small stuff. Hey, let's just hit, boom, dink and duck, boom, let's go there. And then on top of that, what he's also going to do is, like you said, stay aggressive. He's gonna want to maintain that and take things to the next level and say, dog, my eyes are always down the field. Like, I'm always looking for that big ball. I don't care that we're going to get UTSA. Obviously, we have some film we're going to get into, but I think that is the thing that stands out to me. It's not the what's it called? The way that clearly the people gravitate towards him. It's not the the way that he runs, which I think is going to be great. The twitch, which I think is going to be great. His ability to stay and do great things when it's out of structure, which I think are all phenomenal. I think it's the mindset of, hey, I got the cannon and I'm going to keep pushing it down the field. I think there's a lot of times last year for the Texas Longhorns where it felt like we were leaving stuff on the table. We were leaving points on the table because of poor choices, whether it be Quinn or even Steve Sarkeesian, but a lot of, a lot I think it has to go to Quinn and him deciding, hey, should we push here and when we shouldn't push. I think the best example of, hey, him not knowing when to push is the Arizona State game, right? That awful pick that was like almost the beginning of the end to getting into the crazy finish. Obviously, we ended up doing it, and he had a phenomenal throw and a phenomenal check to get into that throw. I'm not going to let y'all just hate on Arch too much, but he made a phenomenal check to get into that throw, right? But why put us in that situation? I think when Arch Manning, at least his mindset, is going to have to be seen through a full game. His mindset is very much, okay, we got to kill him. Like, we got to eradicate him, right? When we're up a touchdown, Sark, let's go ahead and keep our foot in the gas. That doesn't mean we need to do the double twisty 50 yards down the field, but I'm not just going to be conservative. I'm hunting first downs. Hey, let's move the ball, right? I don't need to hunt a 60-yard touchdown, but I need to do that. And then if there is a 60-yarder there, don't be afraid to rip that thing. And Arch has all the ability and the mindset to do so. So I think as a Texas fan, I might be a little biased, but I think we're in good hands. I think we're in the Manning hands, and we're going to stay manned up with the Mannings. Okay, so let's get a little deeper here. We're going to hear from Ross Tucker Podcast speaking about some of their expectations about the transition from Arch Manning offense to a Quinn Ewers offense. And we're going to take a pic at some of these pictures. Just check out Arch. He's doing some community work with his guy, Ryan Wingo. He did a great local youth camp. And then we're going to hear some snippets from Arch and then get into the film. Wait, before we do that, no particular reason, I do want to say this, right? We talked about Aaron Murray. We talked about people being overrated. We talked about not doing nothing. But this is an SEC defense, son. Look at those eyes. Like a dog's eyes. Rolled in the back of his head. Man, get off me. Watch him get low here. Look at the dog. This is going to sound crazy. Pause. Just pre-pause this. This boy's lower half is different. This backside here, these Manning legs, these mandibles. Look at him. Look at this. Look at the power. He's shaking the earth. He can't believe it. He's looking at his calves like, oh my God. Holy guacamole. For 7 yards, he stumbles. And he says, hey, let me knock your block off, son. I'm going to the zone. Auto zone. Has the wherewithal to cross his body and get over the end zone. Nothing better than maroon motherfuckers having a bad time, son. Welcome to the SEC. Those motherfuckers. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to what we came here for. God, I hate Texas A&M. Let's hear it.
Slight frame, undersized, below average athlete, below average arm talent. Like, I truly think if Sarkeesian played Arch Manning, Texas wins a natty this year. I think Texas was that good at the other positions.
And this is something that, again, y'all can go check. I said this. I made this point leading into, I think, round two or round one of the playoffs, where I'm like, dog, not only was Arch Manning, apparently he came out and said he was dealing with, some oblique injury the entire year that just wasn't, completely healed. He was also dealing with an ankle injury that he played through with some like super brace. Now, those first two games with the brace, that boy was looking like old Quinn Ewers. That boy was stepping and stopping and okay. That boy was maneuvering the pocket. But you could start seeing the beginning of the season, Arch Manning, which, again, there was a lingering injury where he just would just stand in the pocket, right? He would just... he would like sack himself. We had one of the better offensive lines in the nation, if not the best offensive line in the nation last year. And he would just like these pockets are clearly being created, and he's just standing at the top of the pocket. Like, dog, you can't even hitch. You can't do nothing. You can't move. So it's not like, to his point, it wasn't even that, oh man, Quinn Ewers is less of an athlete than Arch Manning. I want you to understand we're getting a fully healthy person because Quinn Ewers was injured the entire time. I think that needs to be stressed. Give Quinn his flowers for playing through it, right, and doing what he need to do. But I do think we need to advise and understand that it's a lot of craziness that, or sorry, rather, it's going to be a major jump for Texas fans to realize what's happening. So check in here. The boys had to, the boys had to do it big. The boys had to go down there in St. Louis, chilling with the people, chilling with the folk, doing it bigger than you ever seen. I thought this was just a dope little thing. So let's play this video. This is Ryan Wingo. So Ryan Wingo, Arch Manning, and Colin Simmons, I guess they all showed up. This is what they had to say.
It put a smile on my face, for them to have a smile on their face and see, like I said, see people like Arch Manning, see people like Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons was the best freshman in the country last year, so be able to see people like that, like I said, be around them is so big.
I think anytime you can get a chance to give back, and when Ryan asked me to come to this a couple months ago, it was a no-brainer just because he's such a good guy. I know he'd do the same for me.
Absolutely, man. Not only are we got a few horns that are doing some positive things, man, they're also coming together as some teammates. And what does Steve Sarkeesian feel about certain things? Now, the date is April 8th, 2025, so this is a little more recent, just kind of the transition of
Sarge's team now. He always told us last year that he prepares himself every week like he's going to start. How does that energy he had last year, how will that benefit him now that he is the guy?
Yeah, no, I think Arch is a naturally competitive guy, and I've said this before. He's got a very infectious personality. I think people gravitate to him. And one of the things I see right now is, naturally, he's leading a group of maybe some younger players, especially at the skill spots, at the wideout spot. His confidence, I think, helps them. His understanding, his ability to connect to those guys in between series and talk to them has been helpful. But I also see a competitive spirit affecting the defensive side of the ball. I think they like competing against Arch. I think they know, he's going to talk a little smack to him. He's going to have fun with it. And I think that's bringing out some kind of some personality in an Anthony Hill or a Manny Muhammad or a Michael Taft, some guys who have played a lot of football, and they're thinking, here comes another spring practice, and when's the next game? And it's not for months down the road, but yet every day is a game. Every day is competitive because they know 16 is going to bring it, and if he gets them, he's going to let them know about it.
That's dope to hear, right? Sorry, I was people were playing on my phone, but even more impactful and amazing that you see that he's having a type of impact that is, wow, look how, okay, maybe I was right to hate on him back in high school. Look how small he looks. Oh my God. This was, just so y'all can see, this is what they was hating on. They said that, he couldn't do it in high school, XYZ elemental people. We're not here for that. We're here to see what he looks like at the collegiate level. This is at springtime, and man, he can rip that thing. He was right here, this right quarterback, drops it in the bucket. Here's 1-6 again. Gonna drop an absolute another big boy, big body, big bad rocket. Hitch it, boom, over the top, over the top, over the top. I think that's Trey. Isn't that Trey Weisler's new number? Over the top. And like I said, I already showed you the Texas A&M video. These are some more recent videos though of him getting some work in. And again, like the strength looks good. The velocity looks great, obviously, but it's
better.
There you go. When you see him putting in extra work like this, you see him really committed to the grind, to the craft. It only makes you feel that much better, right? As a Texas fan, the base is good, everything is clean, everything is crispy, right? The continued support of that is dope. Absolutely love to see it. Do we have any more? We'll watch this one because I think this is that deep touchdown, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I think this is a great play to end it on because it displays what I want to show you when I was kind of talking about, right? The confidence, right? Quarterbacks got to play with confidence, and quarterbacks have to know how and what situation they can do to put their team in the best position possible, right? So what is this? This is presumably first down. You have the sticks here. So this is 1st and 10. Now down and distance is important. We're on the right hash here. You got a 3. We motion to a 3-by-2. I think they're doing almost like a 3-3 look because they got a lot of action here. But this could just be cover 4 of Shellick. Okay, so they spread them out. They got a lot of danger here. You got your tight end isolated here, right? You got Jadon Blue, one of the better receiving backs, isolated out here. What he's going to do here, we're gonna hike this ball, okay? We're going to take 1, 2, 3. Now we're hitching. Now he's ready to go. So understand when I talk about decisiveness, when I talk about making a decision, right, what happened here? I'm not sure if he slid them left, but there definitely was clearly there's a slide left and there's somebody coming, right? So he knows he's going to be hot, right? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, just the way the offensive line's looking at, they're counting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6 threats, 5 man to block. He knows he's going to be hot because he what's it called? What do you call it? He motioned his guy out. Okay. So what does he immediately do? With that, they do, in fact, bring 7. Not enough hats here. Okay. He slides to this left protection because the mic was over here, most likely, right? Probably why he motioned out there to see if this guy would, ease up there because there's a lot shown in the pocket. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6 people against 5 that he's going to have to try to match here. He's hot left. The slide comes through here. What does he decide, though? But he knows this. He knows that at this point, this is cover 1. Actually, this is cover 0. Everybody's manned up. Man. Everybody's manned up. Right here, he makes the decision to throw the ball. Everybody's manned up. You're biting on my tight end that is just sitting here. He's just sitting on this curl for the slot fade to get open so I can pull you down, and it doesn't even matter. He's throwing to space at this point. Boom. Look at this. He knows he's got somebody in his ribs. He don't cock it down. He full whips this thing and he throws it before the wide receiver is even in it. He's not even yet. I know you heard the expression, he's even, he's leaving. Ain't nobody even yet. Ain't nobody even. Boom. It don't matter. He knows what he has. Dot. And that is what you're going to get from Arch Manning, a decisiveness and absolute willingness and aggressiveness. And I think somebody who really can propel this Texas offense. But y'all let me know, is there too much hype around Arch Manning? Is he going to be able to do anything? Is Brian Kelly right? You comment that down below. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover in this offseason. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content. Hey, man, keep being great.